And then last but not least, the question that came up with one of the final presenters. So why do you think, I mean, I know that there aren't documents here for it, why do you think the program was discontinued, the water rescue program?
There had been budget reductions in both the police and fire department in the 2 previous years. That included across-the-board reductions, 5%, and then additional 4%, I believe. And that also impacts all aspects of the budget, overtime as well. When the then fire chief sent a memo to the then city manager that he intended to, he had assessed his overtime budget, and based on the assessment at the time that he wrote the memo, he believed that there was $10,000 available within his overtime budget to move forward with the training. And that's what he told the city manager. The city manager responded to that email by saying, you know, she approved as long as he did not go over his budget.
Okay, and is there anything in your review, because we opened up all the records to you, is there any writing after that between the former fire chief and the former city manager addressing this and sort of closing this loop?
No, there was a subsequent memorandum after that that came from his deputy chief to the department indicating that they were ceasing the water rescue program until people could be trained, and specifying dates in the future, 40 to 45 days or 30 to 45 days in the future, in which they intended to conduct that training. Okay, so that was the last documentation I could find related to the water rescue training. It did not happen. So
just to be clear for those who don't have the documents in front of them, there was a memo on March the 9th that went back from the city manager to the fire chief saying, quote, as long as there is dollars in this year's budget to pay for it without, all caps, going over, then I don't have a problem with it. And then a week later, the deputy chief says, I'm currently scheduling time to complete instructor training and land-based rescue training. When this training is complete, the rescue swimmers will be recertified as appropriate. We anticipate training to commence within the next 30 to 45 days. That's March 16, 2009. There are no documents after that that close the loop on what happened.
That's correct. I found no further documents related to that. Obviously the training did not occur, and the budget continued to reflect that their water rescue was a performance measure in the department budget. In fact, in the current budget, it's still in there.
And because the former fire chief and the former city manager are currently in litigation with the city, it was not appropriate to ask them for interviews in this report.
I did not interview them, that's correct. I was aware of the litigation. I did not approach them.